In our world, there is a people we do not see. Their land is unknown to us, except that it is buried. It is said that their emergence depends on one thing, the completion of a digging process that has lasted for thousands of years. All humans fear their evil and tyranny. They fought 2 famous wars and disappeared. Now we await the last and bloodiest war, the mystery of the people of Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog, the enigmatic and terrifying secret that has become a sign of the end times. Their land has vanished from existence, and its location still puzzles scientists and researchers. Some say they are in China, while others claim they may be in Japan. Strangely, some do not believe they are originally human, but rather nuclear rays unleashed on the last day. The most horrifying possibility is that they have indeed emerged and begun to wreak havoc among us without our knowledge. Amidst all expectations and research, it is certain that Gog and Magog form a bloody nightmare feared by the world. Their existence dates back to the time before the Great Flood. In this episode, we will first delve into the story of Gog and Magog and their relationship with Tul-Karnain. Secondly, we'll explore the reasons behind their name and their characteristics. Thirdly, we'll discuss their land, the wars they waged, and the legend of their emergence several years ago. Finally, we'll explore their terrifying demise. What is the story of Gog and Magog? The story of the people of Gog and Magog dates back to the time of the first earth before the Great Flood. The people of Gog and Magog are descendants of Japheth, one of the sons of the prophet Noah. They are known for their strength, tyranny, and love for wars and bloodshed, spreading corruption in the land for many years. The magnitude of their evil stripped the world of human qualities and humanity, causing destruction, terror, and, most importantly, death and horror. No one could withstand the fight against the people of Gog and Magog due to their vast numbers and strength, making them a constant and pervasive threat. Indeed, they became a formidable danger to everything, undermining the very essence of the word in every possible way and at all times. Yes, even to animals. Years passed, and the earth suffered from their oppression as they moved their formidable army from one region to another, killing its inhabitants and burning their possessions, until Tul-Karnain appeared. In our great era, they said, "O Tul-Karnain, Gog and Magog are spreading corruption in the land. Shall we pay you a tribute so that you set up a barrier between us and them?" He replied, "The power my Lord has granted me is better, so help me with manpower, and I will build a barrier between you and them." Tul-Karnain had a mighty army with immense strength and severe power. In one of his journeys, he encountered a people living near the land of Gog and Magog, behind 2 towering mountains. These people were suffering greatly from the oppression of Gog and Magog, and they wanted to put an end to it. They offered Tul-Karnain a sum of money to relieve them of their hunger and suggested building a barrier between them and Gog and Magog to separate them definitively. What do you think Tul-Karnain's response was? Yes, he agreed to help them, but he refused the financial offer they presented. It is said that he decided to build a separating dam instead, strengthening it with the assistance of the people and his army, utilizing their human capabilities and natural resources, including metals and other materials. Here are the 5 stages of what happened next. In the first phase, it is said that Tul-Karnain chose the best point between the 2 mountains to build the barrier. In the second phase, the largest number of stones and pieces of iron were collected. The third phase involved casting everything collected at the specified location until equality was achieved between the 2 mountains. In the fourth phase, Tul-Karnain ignited the fire in the barrier until the iron melted and filled the gaps between the stones. The fifth and final phase involved pouring molten copper onto the barrier, making it incredibly solid. This process isolated the people of Yajuj and Majuj behind the barrier. Despite their strength and attempts to break through, they were unable to do so. It is said that they dug trenches and tunnels in an attempt to escape, even reaching the depths of the earth, but all in vain. They remained sealed until the day of judgment. Now, what causes the great fear of the world regarding the people of Yajuj and Majuj? The primary reason is the ignorance of their true nature and what the world will witness when they emerge from the barrier that isolates them. Stories circulating about them have instilled fear in the hearts of people. It is said that upon their release, they will fill the earth with their massive numbers, surpassing the rest of the world's populations by a terrifying ratio. According to the narratives, each person who stands against them will face an army of Yajuj and Majuj, leading to widespread oppression in the world for years. However, their destruction is inevitable, as detailed in the accounts. Now, why are they named Yajuj and Majuj? There are various reasons for their naming. The first reason comes from the word Dajjal, meaning the noise of fire and its disturbance, reflecting their aggression and strength. The second reason is derived from metaphorical language, referring to the extreme saltiness and bitterness of the water they inhabit due to their vast numbers. The third reason suggests that Yajuj and Majuj are two Arabic names derived from the Hebrew language, Gog and Magog. There is a theory that their name is derived from a Chinese phrase meaning the horse-riding nation, as they are neighboring nations to China in the north and west. Their characteristics, as described in religious texts, depict them as having small eyes, large noses, and black hair with some redness. They vary in height, with some as tall as palm trees and others as short as dwarfs. The exact location of the land of Yajuj and Majuj remains a mystery, and it is the greatest puzzle that many scholars have attempted to unravel. According to some Arab scholars, Abdullah Sharbatji claimed in his book The Journey of Dhul Qarnayn to the east that the land of Yajuj and Majuj is west of Kyrgyzstan or east of Uzbekistan, in a mountainous region on the border between the two countries. However, there is no conclusive evidence pinpointing the exact location of the barrier that confines Yajuj and Majuj, making it the biggest enigma that numerous scholars have endeavored to uncover. After the confrontation with Dhul Qarnayn, many years passed before their descendants and relatives, who were not isolated between the two mountains at that time, engaged in a second global war. This war is attributed to their descendants, and it is said to be even more destructive and bloody. For more details, we can explore the narrative of this second war and its connection to the descendants of Yajuj and Majuj, who were not present when the initial isolation occurred. Since that time, nations have changed, and peoples have transformed until we reached the era of the Mongol Empire, specifically the time of Genghis Khan. According to some researchers, the lineage of Genghis Khan can be traced back to the people of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, from the descendants of Japheth, the son of Noah. What is interesting is the significant resemblance between the characteristics of the Mongols and Yajuj and Majuj, whether in physical traits or their nature. Genghis Khan, the leader, also led his armies into long and violent wars where the Mamluks were killed. The Mongols were known for their cruelty and bloodthirstiness. The reign of the Mongols, led by Genghis Khan, continued for several years until the leadership passed to his grandson Hulagu. Hulagu engaged in bloody wars for the expansion of the kingdom and domination of the world. Due to the massive army he commanded, he reached the borders of the Arabian lands, creating terror and killing ruthlessly. It was believed that this was the emergence of Yajuj and Majuj to leave their stronghold. Here comes the pivotal event indicating that the legend of the emergence of Yajuj and Majuj may not be entirely accurate. Details follow. Following the spread of the tyranny of Yajuj and Majuj on the earth, two brave leaders emerged who refused to submit to the infidel Mongol armies. They were Saif al-Din Qutuz and al-Zahir Baybars. War was declared against them, leading to the Battle of Ain Jalut, the Druze Spring, whose intensity and strength blocked the sun's rays and deafened the sound of swords in the ears. What was the result? The Mongol army was annihilated, and none of them remained alive. The bodies of many covered a vast area of the land. The end of the Mongol era and the way they died signaled to some that the people of Yajuj and Majuj had not yet emerged to the surface of the earth. This interpretation relies on some religious texts that suggest their destruction would take a completely different form. So, when will the people of Ya'juj and Ma'juj emerge, and what are the details of their destruction? The mysteries surrounding the people of Ya'juj and Ma'juj remains, with religious texts providing only a glimpse into their nature. The only action they take until their emergence from the earth is digging and building barriers that prevented their escape. According to these texts, the people of Ya'juj and Ma'juj reproduce rapidly, and their descent cannot be counted or estimated. It is said that a man from among them will not die until he sees 1,000 offspring from his lineage, all armed, and they follow a leader. Every morning, they engage in digging the barrier that confines them, and when their leader tells them to return the next day, they find the barrier stronger and more compact. This repeats daily until the appointed time of the last day. When they stop digging and building, their leader tells them to return the next day, but on that day, the barrier will break, allowing them to break free into the world, signifying the approaching end. The connection between the emergence of Ya'juj and Ma'juj and the signs of the great hour has been established before discussing the destruction of the people of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Here is this interesting story about their numbers after they emerge into the world. The story goes that due to their vast numbers, they head to drink water from a large lake. The first of them manages to escape, but when the last one arrives, they won't find a single drop of water. Yes, the lake will be completely dry. Now, let's continue to see how their fate unfolds after the emergence of the people of Gog and Magog from the earth, spreading evil and corruption that the human mind cannot fathom, instilling terror in the hearts of nations regardless of their differences. According to religious texts, the world implores God Almighty to deliver them from this immense evil, and he responds by sending a worm that emerges from their heads and kills them all, yes, everyone. This is how this terrifying puzzle comes to an end. It is worth mentioning a theory regarding the nature of Gog and Magog, although religious texts clearly indicate that they are human beings. Some researchers and scientists link them to other matters such as technological advancements, pandemics, viruses, or even nuclear radiation, believing that these factors will be the cause of the world's destruction. No one knows. In this way, we have presented to you the story of Gog and Magog, which still captivates the world. We have touched upon various opinions regarding their identification, their land, and even their reality. What do you think? Where are they? Is it reasonable to assume that there are other people among us from their descendants in hiding? Will we witness a third bloody war with them before the emergence of their ancestors, Gog and Magog? Or are they truly not human beings? What we are witnessing, due to the corruption of the earth caused by technology and scientific errors, may be a sign of the end times. Ponder upon it. These are the people of Gog and Magog, and knowledge is with God. I await all your comments. Until now, these explanations are the closest to the story and truth of Gog and Magog. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.